Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm your host, Leafy Potato, and welcome to another NRTS 1v1 cast. Alright. Here we have this second match played as part of Saturday Smackdown 8 between I Exploded and CoolRextreme on City Outskirts. This match, a little brutal. We have I Exploded as the orange commander and Rex as the green commander. More of a city inskirts than a city outskirts, but maybe city center. Oh well. Yeah, no, this game's gonna be brutal. Or at least it has the potential to be brutal. We see pretty standard opening from both players, minus the fact that Rex only has 2 militia. He should still be floating something like $50. I don't know exactly what his plan is. At any rate, yeah, we already see massing of forces on the border. He decides to throw down a tower. Not a horrible idea. This prevents militia pushes from being free. Orange is freely expanding on the map, though. And Rex is missing one of his own CC farms, although he does have another worker here, which is going to finish that up. No, it's not. Never mind. Don't tell me he's making a 4th. That's just disrespectful. At any rate, we've got forces choking each other out here. Rex is trying to go for a bit of a flank. He's got 2 militia on this side, whereas Explode only has 1. Explode looking to pester some farms, as Rex continues just taking his own inner farms. Over here, double building farms. It's crazy. Militia not being produced. I wonder what they're saving for. If they're gonna go for a hospital way too quick. I feel like airpad is probably the right call. You just get to harass wherever you want on the map. You put a timer on your opponent if they don't put towers on everything, where you say these farms will be dead if you don't do a thing about them. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this from Rex. Open on one flank. If Exploded decided that he wanted to commit to militia, you know, just go and queue a house early, get 13 militia, Rex could just be dead. I guess if you see the house, you can respond in kind, but still. I don't know, Explode's got a pretty good spot here. Going and limiting Rex in his eco. Rex is making militia now, but I don't know if it's enough. Explode's just constantly producing them. In fairness, probably could have been doing that for a while now, but also in fairness, that would slow your farming a little bit. Not that there isn't at least 2 workers from Orange that could be building farms that are not. I digress. If you Explode here, you can bring your 3 militia that are just chilling in the in-between blue and a red, and you could have went and pressured Green's farm while your other militia were pressuring Green CC. Now you kind of have to pincer this single militia that's just chilling out here, as your militia are damaged. You don't want to take a fight with 3v4. You push with them stacked together. So pretty well done. You could afford to have a little bit better grouping of your militia now, because you still have 3 out in front that are going to be taking the fight. You got 2 in reserve that are full HP, but these 3 up front are going to You already lost one. You got another one that's heavily damaged. Alright, so you're going to make it out of here with probably 3 militia, but you could have made it out of here with 4, maybe 5. Oh, it makes it out with 4, but doesn't finish the fight. I don't know what he sold those militia for, unless he's got a direct intention to go straight into air tech. Or maybe vehicle tech. You might as well keep the housing filled if you've got nothing else going on. Bad me for not casting correctly. He's got units that are moving around towards red space. He must. He's building a generator, probably because he's been house blocked. Green's already got a vehicle depot out. He's got recons. Orange does not have overwhelming numbers of militia which can fight 2 recons. 2 recons and any amount of militia win this fight. Hell, 2 recons on their own probably win this fight. He's got a heli out, so he went and made an air pad, but what is this going to do, really? Your heli, you could pressure over towards Yellow's base, but you don't have a tower yourself in the middle of the map, so he can just kind of walk directly through. Yeah, that kind of gesture there. I believe I was talking originally, because when these matches are going on, I'm not casting them at the same time. I cast them later. I usually mute the original audio. But I thought it was crazy as well. You know, Orange saw the tower in the middle of the map. That's not his. That's not giving him any defense. Green can just walk to his CC and kill it. Right? Placing any amount of units there probably wouldn't have been a horrible idea, but now your heli's got to sit back at base so you don't die. That's bad. Now he's making more militia. I feel like this was pretty sloppy. Pretty sloppy all around. In this position, you gotta fight behind your farms. You have to fight behind your farms. Yeah, no, he's gonna get his militia shot at for free. He's controlling his militia and his heli with the same select. That's not gonna help. You need your militia to be controlled independently of your heli. Like, the difference in speed of the units will get your heli either just straight killed in a direct fight, or it will have your heli retreat far too quickly. It takes a decent engage because Green was hugging his farm, but I still don't know if I like this very much. Like, you want this recon kill, you're not going to get it. Green still got a vehicle depot. All of his losses can be replaced. He's got way more houses. You're now behind as Orange, which is ridiculous considering that you have more of the map. You have a heli that hasn't... At this point, yeah, no, you maneuver your heli towards Yellow's base, and you take out some of that stuff. Or you take out... Yeah, I didn't even notice their green worker that was over near Magenta. Or purple. Yeah, you have to shut this down. You have to go around, you have to harass, you have to choke them out. He's gonna... All Rex has to do right now is sit in his base, make a couple houses, make farms around the map wherever he can. He's just gonna do his thing. He's got better tech than you. Air tech is good, but vehicle tech can win games, right? Air tech can slow games down. Air tech can determine the pace of the game a little bit better by choking your opponent's eco. And you can snipe enemies that aren't defending their CC, but if the enemy sees that you've got 6 helis or whatever, it does not take much on their part to prevent that from being a direct threat to their CC. You know, placing 2 turrets and upgrading them both. Oh no, you've spent $90 compared to their 6 helis, which are significantly more than $90, and now they can't kill your CC. Especially if you've got missile tech. I really am starting to notice another problem that Explode has, where he'll move big groups of units, but he does not pay attention to their formation. So, like, if you've got 12 militia, but 4 of them aren't fighting, then you only have 8 militia, right? I mean, you got 4 reinforcements, sure, but like against 4 recons, if you're like, oh well, let's say that I can make it so that 12 militia beat 4 recons. Well, 8 militia doesn't. It really doesn't. And yeah, if your militia aren't participating, then they don't count. He does end up cleaning this up. Very cost effective. That's a mistake on Green's part. but still, it's a good job on Explode's part for actually punishing the mistake. What you need now is you need an extra worker in your own base. And you need to just take all these farms that have been damaged. Yeah, and he's got the worker. So that's a correct play. You've got a lot of your farms taken from you. You need to do something about it. You need to keep your helis moving. He's taking a fight. Not a horrible call. You can hit some of these outer houses of green. But he's gonna keep making helis. You're losing the heli advantage. Your helis aren't in position. You have one that could have been harassing towards yellow's base, which could have either split green's attention or made him say, okay, how much did those farms mean to me? Or if nothing else, take an eco from him. But now he's got an advantage again. He's got vehicle tech. He can make a single anti-air and push with that. And while a single anti-air doesn't beat a million choppers, a single anti-air and choppers is a significantly better army than a single anti-air. And it will, most of the time, be beating a good number of choppers just because of how much damage the anti-air does. If you're not losing it because you've got choppers hugging the enemy's choppers, then you're fine. Making more houses now. I feel like you've got to fill your population with something. Because Green's been doing that. Green's got a better force. He's going to go and isolate your helis that haven't been doing anything. This heli that you've forgotten about is just dead. At this point, you can try to run them away. You sell them. You sell them for money, but no. You go and lose a heli. $64 out of the sky. You need something. Whether it be a barracks and you just start spamming dudes and just charge with a human wave of soldiers and militia. You have to do something as Orange. Green's got helis in the sky now. You've let him sit back. You've let him get a whole bunch of houses. He's transitioned off of vehicle tech into hybrid vehicles and air. He's going to start harassing your outlying buildings. He's going to be able to start taking really good fights against these other CCs and take them for eco. He can shut down your farms pretty hard. You're building towers around your tech, which has been built away from your base, which I know the CC doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does some damage. So building your main amount of houses at your command center is a horrible idea. I get that your workers are going to be out on the map and doing their own thing, but that doesn't mean you have to keep them out and on the map and doing their own thing forever. Pretty awful fight coming out. You send your militia in without your tanks firing. Now in this fight where you've got vehicles and militia against vehicles, your militia are meat shields, right? But their purpose isn't to get owned. Their purpose is to get owned so your tanks don't. And what that means is you want them firing, like your tanks firing on the enemy without getting fired at in return. Right? That's the goal with a militia vehicle army. If your militia are getting wiped out by their tanks and your tanks aren't shooting their tanks, then you're just losing militia. And in that case, you're just losing, right? Like, sure, militia are cheap, but you go and lose 5 militia for free, and that's a house. All right, that's 10 eco. That's a recon and change. That's HP that you don't have for this upcoming fight. That's guns that you don't have for this upcoming fight, and they don't do that much damage, but they do deal damage. I guess with militia vehicle fights, you need to be very aware of your tanks and your militia and how close they are to each other, such that when the militia is getting shot at, your tanks can shoot at whoever is shooting the militia. Green's doing things right now. You've been harassing for the majority of this map, and sure, Orange has built up a force now, but he doesn't have very good aerial protection. He's got some militia and he's got some choppers. That's his entire anti-air. His anti-air rolls up an anti-air that he made once he realized that he was in trouble, rolls up after a tank has died, after his choppers have all been shot out of the sky, and while the choppers don't want to fight the anti-airs, if you've got 6 choppers versus 1 anti-air, you can kill the anti-air, and then there's no more anti-air, and that's the end of the game. So while what Green's doing now is incorrect, which is only pushing with his choppers against anti-air and some units, he's taken such a good fight that he's basically won the game. He's got more choppers on the way. He really should be pushing, or otherwise bringing a worker forward, making a hospital to heal the tank if that's his hesitation, and then pushing. But yeah, no, that's basically the game. I don't know that Explode sells right now, but he sells pretty soon after, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I'd say probably the most important factor in the game going the way that it did was not that Explode had terrible macro, but thinking about what you're doing with your units is really important. Also, rebuilding farms after they have died. That's huge. Right now, how many farms does he have? He's got, like, what, 5 farms and some houses. That's horrible eco. Green, if he decides to build any of these farms, wins the game. He wins. It's not hard to get triple the eco as Explode in this game. Rex has significantly more houses, which means that he's got significantly more eco. I mean, Explode's got money that he doesn't know how to spend right now. He's got 2 anti-air in position, so he can prevent the choppers from rolling in, but what happens when Green gets tanks? You don't have the money to build the forces to survive. At this point, all Green has to do, he can just sit back and max, and yeah, that's GG. I mean, there's not much you can do in that position. I feel like unit positioning really did determine this game. Where your units are in relation to your other units, I feel, is something that really needs to be stressed as important, because I mean it decides games. I think Explode did have a chance in that push to at least crack Green's army, put Rex on the back foot, and I mean then you have to know what to do after that. But you had some tanks, you had some militia, you're pretty set, ready to go. I don't think that game was as one-sided as it might have felt until Explode lost his army. Once he lost his army and didn't have eco to back it up, I mean, you can't win from there. You don't have units to kill their CC. And you can't make them, you know, I really should make a video about unit positioning and the importance of understanding formations and basic battle tactics. I think that would be a decent video. I don't know that I'll put it on this channel, but who knows. Anyways, if you've watched to the end, thank you very much for watching. I understand this has been a bit of a longer video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember, stay classy.